So you've been kind of going over the Twitter files. You know everything that's been going on with the Twitter files, right?
No, I have been going over the Twitter
Oh,
files, yes, but I haven't caught up on them in the past maybe 2 weeks.
okay.
So you're gonna have to catch
So,
me up on what's happened most recently. I know there's a lot going
well,
on with Matt Taibbi.
I was gonna say I don't know what's actually been put out in terms of the Twitter files, but yeah, I'll just launch this. So, Matt Taibbi and um, who is this? Schellenberger are the two kind of that pushed out a lot of the Twitter files and stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so some of these exchanges are quite, I guess, awkward. So this one, to start it off, is kind of funny. So I'll play this real quick.
In your discussion, in your answer, you also said that you were invited by a friend, Barry Weiss.
My friend Barry Weiss.
So this friend works for Twitter, or what is her?
She's a journalist.
Sir, I didn't ask you a question. I'm now asking Mr. Schellenberger a question.
Yes, ma'am. Barry Weiss is a journalist.
I'm sorry, sir.
She's a journalist.
She's a journalist. Do you work in concert with her?
Yeah.
Do you know when she first was contacted by Mr. Musk?
I don't know.
You don't know. So you're in this as a threesome?
There was many more people involved than that.
There was many more people involved with it. In your
Oh my gosh. So what do you think about that?
She doesn't seem very well versed on the Twitter files, the very thing she's asking about. It's sort of like,
Well, yeah. And then she doesn't know who Barry Weiss is. That's kind of interesting too.
right, especially if you're gonna be asking these questions. It's like very basic knowledge, but that's really a funny and unfortunate turn of phrase. So you guys were a
Yeah.
threesome? I love that
Oh my
he
God,
cracked up.
I was trying. Okay, I can't find it. I may have quote tweeted it, but I said I commented on this and I was like, so if it was more people than a threesome, then what's that called?
A foursome?
It was many more people than a threesome.
That's called. Oh, I was trying to think of a good joke. That's called Burning Man.
Well, yeah, Burning Man. I want to go to Burning Man someday. That's like me and my neighbor. Like we are. I think that's one of our goals is to get out to Burning Man.
I understand it's many more than 3 people involved.
Yes, it's a huge dance party. But yeah, so that was kind of the first line up of questioning, and then I can't believe she shared this to her Twitter page. Like she shared this line of questioning, and this is where Matt Taibbi comes in. So,
what was the first time that Mr. Musk approached you about writing the Twitter files?
Again, Congresswoman, that would.
I just need a date, sir.
But I can't give it to you, unfortunately, because this is a question of sourcing, and I don't give up. I'm a journalist. I don't reveal my source.
It's a question of chronology.
No, that's a question
because
of sourcing.
You earlier said that someone had sent you through the internet some message about whether or not you would be interested in some information.
Yes, and I referred to that person as a source.
So you're not going to tell us when Musk first approached you?
Again, Congressman, you're asking me you're asking a journalist to reveal a source.
So then you consider Mr. Musk to be the direct source of all this?
No, now you're trying to get me to say that
he's like.
I just can't answer your question.
He isn't. If you're telling me you can't answer because it's your source, well, then that the only logical conclusion is that he is in fact your source.
Well, you're free to conclude that.
Well, sir, I just don't understand. You can't have it both ways. But
he's not trying to have it both ways. He's telling you that he is not going to tell you anything about his source. And you're saying, well, was it this person? Was it that person? When was it this person? She's doing the when did you stop beating your wife thing, you know?
Yeah, it's like exactly.
When did Musk first contact you? Let's say it wasn't Musk. How does he answer that question without revealing that it was someone else?
The correct question would have been, when were you first contacted by your source, so you could get a chronological order. She played it so that it was like, well, if you're not telling me it's Mr. Musk, then it's got to be Mr. Musk. You know, it was, and again, she posted this on her page, and it's like she thought she got some big win here. I mean, she got ratioed like crazy, I think. So, and I actually I talked about this. I'm the first went on there. I said, you seek to end the First Amendment. You know, journalism isn't a crime. And y'all are doing the same thing with these journalists as everybody has done with Julian Assange for years. You know, when they expose wrongdoing, you seek to violate the Constitution.
Yes.
And that's basically what they're doing.
And then I like underneath you, Clifton Duncan's like, Matt Taibbi's a Republican?
Because that's what her comment says. I will continue to fight extreme MAGA Republican lies, misinformation, outright conspiracy theories.
Well,
like, do you even know who you're talking to?
No, she doesn't. To be fair, she didn't know who Barry Weiss is. She doesn't know who Matt Taibbi is.
That is absolutely true. Oh my God. It's absolutely insane what these people are doing. And actually, in other clips of this same one, you see Jim Jordan stepping up and like, you are continuously asking them to reveal their sources. And, you know, a journalist has to have some anonymity with their sources. They don't have to reveal their sources. Right. There's legal cases on this. So the fact that, and I think I might have one of them, but Jim Jordan basically said, you know, it was bipartisan legislation that, it was bipartisan legislation that concealed, you know, sources. And so it's really interesting. But yeah, I mean, talking about like Julian Assange, though, I actually went to see the premiere of his brother's movie, Ithaca.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
So it's a documentary, and it actually follows his dad throughout this whole process. And his brother is a film producer, so it's kind of his work that he does anyway. So he kind of used his skills to create this documentary. And it's amazing to see, like, when you think about Julian Assange, it's like the only crime that he committed was exposing the lies or exposing war crimes. And so he's the one, you know, the publisher of the information is the one being, you know, it's basically shooting the messenger type thing, not shooting, you know, not going after the people that, you know, committed these war crimes. And what's really interesting is Julian Assange used to be like one of the darlings of the left. The left actually loved Julian Assange up until the Podesta emails were leaked by WikiLeaks.
They do this a lot. Have you noticed? Because the left used to love Trump too. And culturally anyway, he was beloved. They also loved Elon Musk, and they loved Matt Taibbi. Although now they're starting to demonize him and call them MAGA Republican. This is what happens the minute you say anything that goes against the narrative. They act like they don't know who you are, and that they don't know where you come from, and that they loved you. And they're suddenly like, you know, you're this awful. They're trying to recreate who you are. I'm shocked they haven't done it to Chappelle yet. I think some of them are trying to.
Well, I mean, obviously when they did. Obviously when they tried to cancel him after he went after, you know, the trans jokes and all that stuff, like all that uproar, they tried to cancel him, but Dave Chappelle's too big to cancel, I think, you know?
Yeah, he's a little too big. Hey, I noticed in your chat, Cheeky Mare, my mod is here. She says, you need to do a better job at communicating with your community when you're guest hosting, lady. You're right. I'm sorry. I forgot. I also am going to be on Midnight's Edge tonight. Let them know, Cheeky. But I was waiting. Sarah, did you tag me in a promo for this or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. So I was waiting and I forgot.
I think that was one of the things that I had kind of forgot to do. It's been kind of a busy day. But I tagged you in when I posted, when I created the stream file for it, but that was it. It was on your YouTube, but
I apologize. I'll link it afterwards everywhere.
You did, yeah.
Good to see you, Cheeky.
Yes, that's good. I mean, I love that you some of your audience is in here, and that's great. But here, actually, this one's actually really interesting too. So let me see. Go in here, share this tab instead. So this shows exactly how bad this whole hearing was when it came to this stuff. So it's a kind of a compilation.
Who gave you access to these emails?
Are you trying to get journalists?
No, I'm not trying to get, no. Who gave you access to these emails? I'm not asking you your source. I'm asking you who gave you access to these. I never asked them for their source. Who gave you access to these emails? You are not going to say I've asked for sources. Who gave you access to these emails? Ask for sources. Who gave you access to these emails? I did not ask you who those sources were. Who gave you access to these emails? The record. Wyoming is recognized. Who gave you access to these emails?
Again, Congressman, with respect, you asked me who gave me.
I asked you who gave it to you.
The ranking member of the Committee on the Weaponization of Government is asking for your sources.
I'm not. I am asking who gave you access to these emails.
No, that's a question of
Because you
sourcing.
earlier said.
Congressman, you're asking me to, you're asking a journalist to reveal a source.
This is a false narrative. We're engaging in false narratives.
I just can't answer your question.
Because he's interrupted.
Chairman,
You're not recognized.
Mr. Chairman, you're not recognized.
What he has said is he's not going to reveal his source, and the fact that Democrats are pressuring him to do so is such
We're not. We're asking him about his conversation.
I do think it's worth pointing out that I have co-sponsored, I think some of my colleagues have co-sponsored the Sheild Act in previous Congresses with Democrats to protect what we see them trying to do today. Protect journalists from having to reveal their sources to government. That used to be a shared position in the Congress. Unfortunately, as we're seeing now, it's not the position anymore.
Who gave you access to these emails? I never asked them for their source. We are going to tell the truth.
That's
I'm not
hilarious.
going to reveal my sources.
Wow. Isn't that
It was, I mean, it was perfect.
That's basically
who
where
gave
we're
you
at
access
in
to these emails?
2023. They just say whatever now, and it doesn't matter if there could be video footage like this that directly contradicts where they directly contradict themselves, and it doesn't matter anymore. We live in such a weird time where smoke and mirrors, it's fine. Narcissists are doing great in this culture. Anyone who's like, engaging in Darvo, lying right out in the open. It's like it doesn't even matter anymore. It's so crazy.
No, you're absolutely right. Like this one, that was just, it was so perfect. It was like, no, I'm not asking your sources, but who gave you access to the email?
This is like when
that's
it's
that's
like
not your source.
Exactly. It's basically, it's like when Twitter said, no, we don't shadow ban under oath. And they've said they didn't shadow ban. And then it came out in the Twitter files that they do shadow ban, but they don't consider it lying because they call it visibility filtering.
Yeah.
We don't shadow ban. We visibility filter. We don't shadow ban. We visibility filter. It's the same. Yeah. You're lying.
But even that's the other thing, though, is even Elon Musk has done the same thing with Twitter, right? He said, we're going to get rid of the shadow banning, but we will give you, we'll punish you with access to, like, we'll punish your reach. You won't be, if you're posting these types of things, your reach will be diminished. It's like, that's shadow banning.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he published that at one point. It's like, what are you talking about?
That's shadow banning. Duh. Welcome.
That's like, but it goes to, and this is why we always get your streams canceled. It goes back to even look at Fauci during COVID.
Yeah.
It's like, remember when he said that we never, what was it? Gain of function research. We never conducted gain of function research. And Twitter, we never conducted gain of function research, Twitter. So, I'm not saying that, or YouTube. I'm not saying we did, but then he called it something like evolutionary growth research or something like that. Okay.
Right.
So what is that? It's the same thing. It's like, it's you use different words that mean, you use synonyms to mean the same thing, but to confuse people that it's not the same thing. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that will believe them.
We also funded it in the Wuhan lab, the NIH did. And they've since canceled that funding. But that's also a sleight of hand, because it's like, well, we're not doing it. China's doing it, but we're paying them money to do it.
Allegedly.
No, this is in the record. This is in the
record. Is it? Okay.
Yeah. You want?
I just want to make sure YouTube knows that we're not saying what we're saying.
Okay, you're right. Sorry, I don't want to get you second episode.
No. I would do the same thing to you. So it's okay.
I mean,
how many times have I almost got you banned? That's kind of funny.
It's sort of a joke.
Now there was one more clip, and did you? It's Debbie Wasserman Schultz, if you know who that is.
Yes.
And this is one thing I can't stand about some of these hearings is this is just bad because, I mean, well, one, she's taking Joe Rogan clips, and two, well, just watch it. You'll see exactly what I want to talk about, probably.
Please do not interrupt me. Elon Musk spoon-fed you his cherry-picked information, which you must have suspected promotes a slanted viewpoint, or at the very least generates another right-wing conspiracy theory. You violated your own standard, and you appear to have benefited from it. Before the release of emails in August of last year, you had 661,000 Twitter followers. After the Twitter files, your followers doubled, and now it's 3 times what it was last August. I imagine your Substack readership, which is a subscription, increased significantly because of the work that you did for Elon Musk. Now, I'm not asking you to put a dollar figure on it, but it's quite obvious that you've profited from the Twitter files. You hit the jackpot on that Vegas slot machine to which you referred. That's true, isn't it?
I've also reinvested.
You've made some. No. Is it true that you have profited since you were the recipient of the Twitter files? You've made money. Yes or no?
I think it's probably a wash, honestly.
No, you have made money that you did not have before, correct?
But I've also spent money that I didn't.
And
hired a whole group of people.
What's
obvious answer? Reclaiming my time. Attention is a powerful drug. Eyeballs, money, prominence, attention, all of it points to problems with accuracy and credibility. And the larger point, which is social media companies are not biased against conservatives. And if anything, they adjust their own policies by allowing Trump and other MAGA extremists to post incessant lies, endangering public safety and even our democracy. Hypocrisy is the hangover of an addiction to attention.
So awful.
I'm glad I haven't been watching this because this makes me angry.
It makes your blood boil.
The audacity.
Absolutely. Because this is what's really just awful. They drag and obviously Aaron Rupert isn't going to play the full clip where Jim Jordan allows Matt Taibbi an opportunity to actually respond to this. Right. Because he's being attacked. He was not even given an opportunity. And Jim Jordan actually says, we invited them here to talk. We didn't invite them here so that you could just attack them.
Attack them. And by the way, if you're a journalist who's breaking probably the most important, one of the most important stories since Watergate, which is what Matt Taibbi and the Twitter Files journalists are doing. No wonder his readership increased. It should increase. The number of people following him should increase because that's a result of doing great journalism when everyone else is afraid to touch it. So
exactly.
Would she sit there with the New York Times and be like, got a lot of readers, huh? Make a lot of money, huh? Doing your journalism. People read you, huh? Yeah. Well, I guess I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, that's kind of the point, is to be doing a good job. And if it wasn't good, accurate information, then people wouldn't read it. She's just mad that they can't silence it. That's really what it is. I mean, she's just mad that they can't use this for their own, gains. It's quite obvious what they're doing with that. It's disgusting. But that's what I was like. You bring people in to literally talk over them and not give them an opportunity to respond because you just want to attack. Like this, that's not what these hearings are for. The hearings are to ask questions, and yes and no questions like that don't really, obviously you saw her get frustrated because he wouldn't just say, yes, I've made more money. It's like, but I've also reinvested. No, but you've also made more money, that you also have more money that came in than came in before. Yes, I make money because I get more viewership.
Right.
That's the point of being a journalist, is to make more money.
Of being good at what you do is because if you're good at it and you're successful, I mean, that is the point. I would like to know what she did before she got into politics. Do you know?
Oh, I don't remember. I know, I forget. Was it Rush Limbaugh used to call her Debbie Blabbermouth Wasserman Schultz or Wasserman Schultz or something like that. But that's the thing is, I don't know. And I don't even know what she does in Congress or where she's from. I know the name, and because she's just god awful anyways. But it's like I mean, ask her how much more money she's made over the 150. What is that?
That's what I was going to ask.
That they make.
So before you got into politics, Debbie, what were you doing? What were you doing? The more successful you became in politics and the higher you rose, did you have more people donating to you? Did you? Did you have more people following you?
Yeah. Or did you? That's a good point. It's like, did you? Did your
in your chat? Sorry, in your chat, bubbly noodle.
Let me see. You made money doing your job, and you did more of your job, so you made more money, right? That's perfect. That's exactly what it is. It is. You make more money doing your jobs because you did more of it, and you did a lot more important of it, and so you're gonna make more money, right? And so that's wrong because I guess capitalism.
Funny,
because more people voluntarily donate their money, and that so the government can literally come and steal that money from you.
That's just I don't know. I don't have a lot of words for that. It's just she has a lot of audacity.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
It's absolutely insane.